Hello and welcome. I'm Mike Martin. I'm one of the partner leaders here at AWS.
Hi, I'm Sanjeev Nehra. I'm the CIO at Kearney and Company. It's an auditing, technology, and consulting company.
Jason.
Hi, my name's Jason Waldrop, and I'm the president of managed services at Red River. Red River is a technology transformation business, and we have 3 business units: VAR, managed services, and programs, and I run the managed services business.
And GP.
Mike, thank you for having me. I'm GP, Gaurav Pal for short, but I'm the CEO and founder of stackArmor. We are a ATO acceleration company that helps organizations get FedRAMP, CMMC, and FISMA ATOs on AWS and AWS GovCloud. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Sanjeev, I know that you've worked with Red River for quite some time, right? You've got a lot of earned trust there, but tell us a little bit about this particular project and why you chose to work with them on this project.
We are very cognizant that I run the technology services internal to Kearney, and we can't hire everybody, so we look for augmentation from other companies which can help provide the services that we don't want to do organically. And Red River has been an excellent partner to us in not only giving us managed services, providing help desk services, but also additionally providing compliance and operational security on platforms which are state of the art. So rather than building it internally, we have this partnership where we understand the market, we understand what the gap analysis is for the needs that we have. And Red River, through a range of products, particularly focusing on CMMC lately, has been it's been a long journey, it's an interesting journey, and we feel that we are working very well together in providing us an enhanced security platform that we continue to build on.
A really great partnership.
Yeah, it is a really wonderful partnership.
Right. And Jason, we know Red River has a lot of capabilities, right? But in this particular case, you're working with stackArmor. What was it that stackArmor brought to the table?
Sure. Yeah, we've been partnered with stackArmor for quite some time, starting back with when 800.171 first came out. We ourselves at Red River, our federal contractor, we hired stackArmor to come help us solve some 800.171 technology compliance issues that we had. So when it came time for us to build a CMMC stack for clients like Kearney, where now we are going to be subject to compliance flowdowns that through their audits, it was obvious, there was not even a question, we were going to go to stackArmor to help us solve that problem.
And GP, tell us a little bit about your superpower and how you've helped them solve that problem.
We were really excited when Jason and I met and we talked a little bit about Red River's future direction, and we just felt that Red River, particularly with the partnership with AWS, was really well positioned to go in and help customers like Kearney and others meet some of the CMMC compliance challenges.
Let me just say something to this. While we are talking about compliance and 800.171 controls and other controls in CMMC, we cannot not talk about operational security. Both the compliance and the operational security go hand in hand. So this is a way for us, for me, when I look at our company's security posture, we are not saying you have to be compliant or you have to be secure. You have to be both compliant and secure. And having platforms like what we are talking about here helps us to have not only a point-in-time view, but an ongoing, what we call continuous assessment, so that we are aware of threats, because they don't come sporadically. They are always there. And it is a much better way to be operationally resilient and secure. And therefore, we are really excited at what happens, what capabilities we get through the platforms that we're talking here.
Let's talk about managed services and just the aspect of how you fill in gaps for your customers where they don't necessarily have the capabilities and skills.
Sure. I mean, the way, in a sentence, we explain what we do is we're some or all of a client's IT service delivery organization. So in the case of Kearney, we partner together with their internal IT shop to deliver a common outcome to their clients. As a result, you can imagine we have a lot of instrumentation and tools and telemetry in the environment. So all of that becomes in scope for a CMMC Level 3 audit. And so we had to work extensively with AWS on the GovCloud framework to leverage a lot of the controls that are already built in there, put in some of our own stuff with stackArmor underneath that to create a foundation, and then we started to lay in the requisite tech stack to support Sanjeev and Kearney and clients like that.
Right.
But I think what's really exciting to us is the emergence of amazing partners like Red River, who understand the need to go in and provide both the combination of the compliance along with the operational security to meet the needs of customers like Kearney and Sanjeev here. And so what's interesting to us is really this ability to combine cloud with security and the compliance piece all delivered as one single bundle. We want to really reduce some of the time and energy that folks like Sanjeev and others have to spend in trying to go and build it, and that's why we're really excited by what I think Red River has been able to accomplish, and what we're looking to do even more in the CMMC.
Yeah. And so coming back to CMMC, it's a very important control. If you think about it, failing CMMC means we can no longer do business with the federal government. So it's a risk we cannot take. So we have to make sure we are not only confident, we are fully confident that we are secure, not just today, not just tomorrow, but all the time. So that's where platforms like what Gaurav was talking about, services like what Jason, because they're all under the scope of when we get assessed. So this is where partnership comes in. We trust, but we work very closely with Jason and his company to say, what controls do you have? What are the gaps that you have found in your environment? Because it's a flow down for us. And obviously anything that we discover, we share with Jason and his company to say, here's where we are. Here is the additional work that we need to do. And it's not just today. It's an ongoing work that we continue to do.
I love that aspect of this is a long-term partnership, right? This is not just an engagement.
Right.
This is an engagement that's going to go on for a long period of time. Jason, how about you working with AWS? Tell us about what you
Yeah, I mean, we've been a long-time AWS partner, and for this specific outcome, this CMMC platform that we've built, there's a wide body of controls that we have to confront and adhere to maintain audit worthiness for ourselves and our clients. And so by virtue of us being able to leverage AWS's GovCloud platform, we inherit a whole bunch of those controls, and then we work with GP and our team and our application vendors to satisfy those things that are not taken care of foundationally by GovCloud. But GovCloud is a massive head start for us on this effort.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Sanjeev, tell us what advice would you have for other customers that are considering this journey?
So at this point, looking back 3 years later, one thing that it allowed us to do, and I am deeply grateful, is as a CIO of my company, I was able to go to the leadership and said, CMMC is something where we cannot fail. And therefore, wherever there's a gap assessment, we need to get resources, whether it's software, hardware, labor, whatever, or MSPs. So we have continued shoring up our security posture. And this has been absolutely wonderful for us because, it has mitigated potentially many threats that would otherwise have happened. Anybody who's doing business with the federal government understands the set of regulations that we have to meet. So it is a commitment we take seriously. It has allowed us to, as I said, shore up our defenses immeasurably.
Thank you. Sanjeev just mentioned federal, U.S. federal government, but there's other customers that could potentially use a solution like this as well. Tell us a little about what you're thinking, Jason, from other customers and other industries.
Yeah, well, defense industrial base is clearly right in our sights. We have dozens of clients that are in the defense industrial base. Many of them have not been as progressive on the subject as Kearney has. Kearney's really leaned into this and is very prepared. And honestly, we think this fall, as this law starts to come together and the stuff starts to make it into contracts, that there's going to be a lot of folks racing for help to catch up on this initiative, and we hope that we can be one small part of helping the broader government contracting community and defense industrial base get compliant. We think maybe we can accelerate their time to compliance by 30 to 50% because of the body of work that we've put together. So hopefully we're able to help a lot of these folks who are going to be in a pinch.
Outstanding. And GP, what about let's say higher ed? Would this be a great solution for universities?
Absolutely, Mike. I think again, building on what Jason said, I think we just see the defense industrial base and even larger, right? So as what we call the critical infrastructure space, there are 16 industry segments defined as critical infrastructure by CISA. And so one of the interesting things we are seeing is definitely research institutions, educational institutions, any organization that receives significant federal money and so therefore is hosting federal data absolutely must go in and demonstrate compliance with CMMC, as well as other similar security frameworks. And I think one of the things that sort of really impressed me was just, the leadership that I saw from Jason. And, when I saw them going through the C3PO assessment, I was like, wow, you guys are the first and only MSP that really takes this seriously. And you're prepared to be leaning in and offer this, C3PO assessed platform to all of these other organizations that right now are struggling. And I think it's, truly sort of a huge opportunity for us to ease the pain of some of these organizations in the higher ed and education space that'll desperately need a solution like this.
And let me just add this to CMMC as a framework is only applicable at this time potentially to DoD. But there are other frameworks that are potentially being considered. For example, DHS is looking at cyber hygiene. But this is one of the cases where federal government is really taking the lead. Think about FedRAMP and cloud security. Think about FISMA and what that means. And now think about CMMC. So it's setting a gold standard for what controls need to be met by systems in different industries. So I really do think CMMC is going to be adopted at a much more scale in different industries, not just DoD.
Much more broadly.
Much more broadly.
We appreciate you joining us today, and we hope you've learned a little bit about this unique solution. It's very differentiated that stackArmor and Red River have put together for us around CMMC.